Yo people, what's going on? Welcome back to a brand new video. Now in this video, as you know, we are playing Manchester United on this weekend. So it's better, or as usual, we do a preview. Now, before we do a preview, make sure you do subscribe to the channel and obviously follow and like all the videos I'll be posting. If you like, you can share it as well. I won't mind that. Now, as we always do, before we talk about the team that we'll be playing against, we like to, have a little bit of a reaction to the press conference. Now, Maresca spoke about a lot of things, but as you know, in this channel, we don't really rate these press conferences because they speak a lot of rubbish anyway. They do ask a lot of rubbish questions. But I have about maybe 2 or 3 points that I might want to just talk about. Not so much, really. I think the first one has to be the fact that we don't have any injuries. And I think every fan always wants to go into a match knowing that, the coach has so many options to pick on in terms of having a clean bench, having injury-free bench, even when you're first 11, which for us, I think we have a clue now what our first 11 looks like, or it's going to look like. Now, there might be 1 or 2 changes depending on the games, but it looks as though, or we've heard that our first 11 is quite fit. So yeah, that's something nice to hear. Last season, it was a different story, but this season, the medical staff seems to be doing a really good job. Now, my second point, I want to talk about the fact that in the last 6 games, we haven't kept a clean sheet. Now, Maresca's response to that was that, actually, let me read the actual quote. Maresca said, from the last 6, no clean sheet. How many have we won? If we concede 1 and score 2, I am happy. Listen, I think Maresca is the type of a coach that probably goes along with some sort of my philosophies, because I've always said this year, especially in the last season when we had Pochettino. I think for someone that played ball as well, the best way to defend is to attack, right? I think we saw that, or we've been seeing over the years with teams like Man City. Man City concede goals, but they outscore the team that they're playing against. So that philosophy, for me, I like it. Now, will it work every time? I don't think so. But is it better to work with that philosophy? I can agree to that. I can say Maresca is onto something. Why? Because I've seen Pochettino going negative in the sense of him putting defenders in a game where we're losing or where we're drawing, unable to keep a point. So for me, I was never in agreement with that sort of philosophy and style of play. Now, on the other hand, we have Maresca now. He's very much happy to concede a goal too, as long as we are scoring more goals, because at the end of the day, what's more important is to take away 3 points. You can keep a clean sheet and not score any goals and get a point. Now, which one would you like? I would rather just score more goals and concede less. Conceding a goal is not a problem. The problem now begins when you don't score or outscore the teams. Because there are teams where if you concede first, it's always going to be hard to get back into the game. I think we saw that against Nottingham Forest. The way that they play, if they go in front before you, you have a long night. You have a long night because they play so negative, so compact in their box, you can't break them. And they're so defensively good, you can't break them. But on the other hand, if you're playing teams that are open, that are willing to give you the game, even if they score, you can always score more. So this philosophy, for me, I like it, but just like every other thing, there's always going to be positives and negatives. The negative for that is what I just said. The problem begins when you don't then outscore teams and then conceding at the same time. Because in some matches, maybe a draw would be an ideal thing to do. Now, let's look into our opponent, Manchester United. Listen, I made a video on this channel. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. I was very mad. I was pissed off. Why? Because they literally sacked Ten Hag 2 weeks before we could play them, if not a week. Actually, a week before we could play them. Now, I was saying, if Tottenham went there and win, if Liverpool went there and win, And many, many other teams. Crystal Palace got a draw. West Ham, they won. I was thinking if we go there with Ten Hag in charge, we will definitely gonna win. Maybe not definite, but we'll put on some good show. Now Ten Hag is gone. To be fair with you guys, I still believe that we could do it. I still believe we could do it. I don't think Ruud van Nistelrooy has that much special coaching talent or philosophies to a point where Chelsea will end up struggling to score Manchester United or to win this game. Now, on the other hand as well, we can't deny that there could be a manager bounce. Whether Ruud van Nistelrooy has got good tactics, or whether the players are just want to play for heritage football. Because, we haven't won in the Old Trafford for many, many, many years. I'm talking what? Maybe, I don't know, but I know a couple of years we haven't won there. I think our last 11 games there, we had about 5 draws and 6. I can't remember the right figures. But it's not a very, very entertaining place for Chelsea to be. And these are the sort of matches where a team can be shit to other teams, but when they play their rivals, we're not so much into their rival like the Manchester Cities and that. But Chelsea is so much of a big team that if we turn up there, if we don't have our shooting boots and our defending boots, we are going to lose that game. No matter what you think about Manchester United, whether Ten Hag is there or not, there is always going to be, or it was always going to be difficult for us to play there. Now, do I think or am I confident that we're going to win? 100%. Look, I don't care who's coaching, even if it was Ruben Amorim. I was still going to back my team. Why? Because we played them with Pochettino and we won 2-1. We played a shitty match, but not so shitty. And that was the Poch. And I expected that. Now we have Maresca, a guy who knows pretty much what he's doing. Our players are much fitter. We have even strengthened our bench and our first 11 because remember, now we have Pedro Neto. And obviously in midfield, we have Lavia now and Caicedo are playing there both fit. So we are actually going there with the better team. So I do think better team, better coach, and just better vibes. We've been winning games. I know last time we lost to Newcastle in the Carabao Cup, but that's a different topic for another day. In terms of the vibes right now, we are in good vibes. Chelsea is actually in good vibes. So I do think the boys have got so much confidence to go there and actually come out there with 3 points. Now, the other reason why I would say I'm a bit confident as well is the fact that during the week we rested all our players. All our players that normally plays in the first 11, they didn't start. Yes, of course, we saw Madueke in there and maybe Cucurella if he does play on the weekend. I highly doubt Enzo Fernandez will start. But even then, Cucurella is a machine and Madueke only came in the second half. So our players are really, really energetic for this game. And again, we have to keep ourselves within the top 4 range because we don't want to get far behind. So I do think we're going to actually come up with something at the Old Trafford. Now my prediction, actually let's do a predicted lineup. I'm going to go with centre backs Fofana and Colwill. Right back, left back, it's a bit tricky because you might do what he did at Newcastle where he played Reece James on the left side, which I'm okay with it. Gusto on the right side, or you can do right side James or side Gusto. I'm okay with that. Or Cucurella on the left. Actually, I want to see Cucurella on the left. I'm good with that. Our midfield, I think we already know. Lavia and Caicedo, and obviously Cole Palmer. Jackson, Neto, I think he'll start. And then Madueke. The reason why I'm begging Neto to start is because Sancho cannot play there, and because he's still on loan with us, even though it's an obligation, he's still a Manchester United player in this moment in time. Now, I don't think you will beg Mudryk to start a game in the Premier League, especially when there's Neto on the bench. And my predicted score, I'm gonna go with 3-1 because I do believe Chelsea will concede a goal. Again, like we spoke before, we are going to be a team that will concede. But we're also going to be a team that outscore teams. So 3-1, that's my predicted score line. Now, up the Chelsea. I'll see you guys tomorrow in Stamford Bridge here at my house. Peace.